Becoming a homeowner can sometimes feel like walking into a financial trap you never saw coming, right? It's like stepping into a dream that quickly turns into a nightmare of unexpected costs and overwhelming responsibilities, okay? I've read this survey. I wanted to bring this up to you. It's called Real Estate Witch. They said that a staggering statistic, it's like 28% of homeowners wish they were still renting. Imagine that. Almost 1/3 of people who bought homes recently are now longing for the days of renting. So I'm going to kind of break this down. It was very interesting to me, this whole survey, why new homeowners are filled with regret. It's sad. You know, here you are buying your first home. It's the American dream, and then you can't afford it, or you regret it. The hidden costs that you didn't know about can, basically turn your beautiful home into a financial burden and find yourself searching for strategies to avoid becoming house poor. So stay tuned before you think about buying a home. If you're thinking about buying a home, because the information I'm going to share with you could save you a lifetime of financial heartbreak. Know what you're getting into. This is one of the biggest decisions of your life and one of the biggest investments that you'll ever make. You want to make sure you do it right. So let's unpack this survey here, because it was kind of interesting. I'm not really a fan of surveys, however, this one caught my eye. This Real Estate Witch survey, it revealed some really eye-opening insights about new homeowners that I wasn't aware of. I did hear some things from some of my homeowners that I've sold homes to, but nothing like this. So, like I said, 28%, which I thought was a lot, of homeowners wish they could go back to renting now. Really, it seems like a lot to me. It made me how to think that thought in my head for a second. Like, what did I just say? Or what did I just read? And like, really, why is this happening? And basically, they didn't realize how expensive owning a home could be. And let me tell you, it's much more than just your mortgage payment, right? Because owning a home means taking on a lot of hidden costs that can quickly add up and turn your dream home, your homeownership dream, into a financial burden, okay? You've got unexpected repairs, right? You got property taxes going up every year. Homeowners insurance in some states have doubled. The expenses can blindside you if you're not prepared. That's why we sit down and prepare all of our clients about this, okay? So this is why I'm going to guide you through it. So hang in here. Not just talking about the problems, we're uncovering the solutions for this, okay? I'm going to share with you some critical details from the survey that I thought were critical, a couple of real life stories of regret that I've heard, and most importantly, some practical advice on how to navigate the financial pitfalls of the homeownership, okay? So this information could save you a lot of financial pain, okay? And just keep you informed. Be confident about your decision about buying a home. This is a big thing. It's a great time of your life. Buying is so much better than renting, but let's make sure it's for you, okay? So let's break down this survey, because I felt it painted like a real crisp picture of the financial strain that many homeowners are facing right now. Nearly half of them, 49%, found themselves spending more money on their homes than they ever did on rent. Well, of course that's going to happen. You don't own your home, you rent the home. But it was more than I expected. So why is this happening? Let's see what the survey says.
Survey says.
First of all, 42% of homeowners thinks it's easier to rent. Of course it's easier to rent. So think about it. Almost half of the people who made the leap into homeownership believe that renting is a simpler option. Then 41% felt like renting is generally less expensive. This isn't just a minor difference, it's a significant chunk of the population that's recognizing these financial benefits of renting. But there's so many great other benefits of owning that the survey doesn't talk about. But let's keep with the survey. 34% of the homeowners who bought homes, they envy renters because they don't have to pay for upkeep and maintenance. That's over 1/3 of homeowners are looking at renters with envy because they feel that they're free from the burden of constant repairs and maintenance costs. Well, what about the other side? I'm always look at the flip side. How much better would you rather have this home or not? Or do you want to go back to renting and maybe get kicked out of your house, because the landlord said, I'm selling the house and you have to move? So it's catch-22 here. But the most startling statistic here that came from this survey is like 9 out of 10 homeowners say the true cost of owning a home is way more than anticipated. And I believe that. It's more than anticipated, but still, is it better than having this home? I don't know. 9 out of 10, that's kind of an overwhelming majority who underestimated the financial demands of homeownership. What were the realtors doing if they bought a home? They should be taking them through this process like we do. You should never buy a home unless you go through the process of knowing the numbers, because the numbers aren't just statistics. it's kind of like a wake-up call here, this number. To me, I can believe how many people felt this way. So apparently this is a common experience among these new homeowners, a lack of preparation for the real costs that are involved in buying a home. So it's really crucial to understand these hidden expenses before you make a leap into buying a home. And get with your realtor and make sure they go through all this with you, because they should be schooling you about these things, okay? So when we go over with our buyers, we have like the property taxes can skyrocket unexpectedly, to maintenance costs that can never seem to end, or owning a home involves much more than just making your mortgage payments, right? All these expenses, they add up quickly. If you're not prepared, they can put you into a financial precarious position, all right? It's a challenge, homeownership, I get it, but it's also so rewarding. So if you can do it, great. And make these informed decisions, avoid pitfalls that many of these other buyers apparently have fallen into. So let's look at some practical solutions that you don't become a statistic, and I can save you some from your financial regret here, okay? So hidden cost seems to be the biggest thing. So let's talk about hidden costs, and back to the survey, where this Real Estate Witch survey, it uncovered some real eye-opening figures about hidden costs that I want to share with you. It said that homeowners spend a staggering $18,000 a year on non-mortgage expenses. So Diane, where does all this money go, and why is it catching so many people off guard? Like, they should know about these things. Like, first, utilities. Homeowners spend an average of $4,400 per year on utilities. Now that's 77% higher than what renters pay. So imagine moving into your new home only find that your monthly utility bills are nearly double what you're used to paying as a renter. But make sure before buying a home that we get you the exact bills. I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. Get the exact bills from the seller for their monthly costs. Knowing the monthly cost from that seller, don't just take their word for it. And if there's only 2 people living there and you have a family of 4, make sure you know it's going to go up, okay? So there's some things you have to think about. Next, I talked about maintenance and repairs. You own a home, your landlord's not going to come over and fix things for you. Homeowners are on average shelling out almost $4,400 per year just to keep their homes in good shapes. Even more alarming, I saw that 1 in 5 homeowners struggle to afford a $500 repair. Yeah, check out this survey, it's crazy. And I'm sure you don't want to be hit with an unexpected repair bill and having no other choice but to put it on a credit card. That's not good, right? I want to show you have this money put aside. And then there's renovations. Homeowners spend about $3,700, $3,800 a year on renovations. And shockingly, 25% of those who started a renovation knew they couldn't afford it from the get-go, but they started a project and hoping for the best, but often ended up in deeper debt. Make sure you can afford this upgrade that you're going to do. And property taxes, talked about that a little bit, but it's an expense. And this survey says they average $3,294 a year. I'm not sure what that is, because in my area, average taxes are around $4,400 in the Abington area that's like a $400,000 house. And this doesn't stop. Okay, there's more. 59% of homeowners have seen their property taxes rise significantly. So any increase in any expense can definitely catch you by surprise, and you don't want to be surprised. And definitely will strain your budget, so leave a little cushion for that. And homeowner insurance. Lastly, oh my gosh, that's probably the biggest one that's been going up a lot for people. They say that the average cost is $1,516 per year. But remember, that's just an average. In many parts of the country, people are paying way more than that. And rising premiums, that can be another unexpected financial burden, especially if you're in a hurricane area or a beachfront area. So these numbers are not just abstract statistics. They represent real challenges that homeowners face every day. That's why you need to be fully prepared for the financial responsibilities of owning a home, and not just about making the mortgage payment. That's why they only allow you like 45% of your mortgage, of your income on a mortgage, because they know that the rest is a lot to deal with. But don't get discouraged here, okay? I'm not telling you this to keep you from buying a home. I just want to make sure that you have this knowledge when making one of the most important financial decisions that you'll make. Buying one of the largest assets that you'll ever own in your financial portfolio is a house. So just take steps to prepare and protect yourself. And I'm going to be your guide by your side here to remind you of these hidden costs so you can make informed decisions, okay? And I want you to enjoy the benefits of homeownership without the financial stress. And guys, if you're learning something here, help me out. Looking to get 600 subscribers by the end of August. That'd be awesome, thank you. So Diane, you asked me, what are some of the strategies you're going to suggest to manage these expenses? What is going to make, encourage me to buy a home? Tell me all these bad stuff, all these statistics. Tell me some good stuff here. So I wanted to give you some real life stories I've heard from former renters who became homeowners and now regret it. These weren't my clients, these are just talking to people in general. After I read the survey and I talked to some people, I saw these unexpected challenges that were happening and that were financial burdens for some people when they bought a house. I had a couple that shared that when they went to renting to owning, they found themselves like house poor due to unexpected cost. They said that their mortgage and property tax were about what we paid in rent, but the upkeep, and unplanned repairs, heating and electricity, it just all added up. They felt house poor, they couldn't do anything. So it's kind of a stark reminder that the cost of homeownership often extend beyond what we initially calculate. I think that was the gist of what the survey was saying. And then I just talked to random people and they said the same thing. One of my clients told me about, they bought this house they really didn't want to buy because their parents made them buy. And the plumbing had busted. I knew they didn't want to buy the house, but did it anyway. It cost them like $5,000. And then $20,000 here, another $9,000 for AC. And I told them, this house is going to need upkeep, but it was really something that the parents really wanted them to buy. So it ended up being a little bit of a nightmare. Luckily for them, the parents helped out a little bit in these expenses. But if you don't have a parent around to help you out with that, these unexpected repairs that can turn what was meant to be your American dream into kind of a nightmare for you. So I'm sure there's other incidents of people talking about this type of thing, but the ultimate joy, I think, of owning a home, it can quickly turn into regret if you're just not prepared. These are financial responsibilities you need to know about and have a clear understanding of the costs and plan to manage them. Okay, we have a nice budget worksheet we can have for you to budget all this stuff out of things that could happen. And how can you avoid these pitfalls if you want to buy a house? I think knowledge is power. Preparation, planning. You have to prepare yourself to be a homeowner, to be able to take that repair, that leaky faucet or whatever, and not just call your landlord, to realize that you're the landlord. You're the one who has to make the deal happen, okay? So let's talk about some advice for some of you homeowners. How can you avoid pitfalls and ensure this homeownership journey is really smooth for you? It's a major life decision, like I said. So first and foremost, let's talk about property taxes. I would always have a big one. They can really impact the overall housing costs and change over time. It's crucial to check with your local municipality and find out when reassessment cycles occur and how they might affect your budget. You can also have your realtor look back the last 10 years of where the taxes were and how they went up every year. You can get that list from its public record. So just doing that right there, you can understand how it goes up every year. And just like I said, check out the last 10 years. And I always show my clients, it's public information. I always say, here's where the taxes were, here they are now, budget for that. Many homeowners, they just get caught off guard by the emotional aspects, and they don't realize that they have to pay this increase every year. So stay informed and get prepared for any potential increases and avoid being blindsided. And that will help you out as much as possible, because you don't want to stretch your finances too thin. You might say, well, I'm going to get a raise, but you get a raise and then everything else gets raised along with it. So you end up doing the same thing. So it's just a proactive approach, smart homeownership, I call it, and helps you maintain your financial stability and peace of mind is very important. Second, I suggest that you have this emergency fund. Emergency. This step, I think, is really crucial and non-negotiable. Before you even start looking for a home, make it a priority. Save 3 to 6 months of your income. And it's crucial to have that, because when you own a home, I talked about all these unexpected expenses and repairs, a sudden roof leak or a plumbing repair, or your air conditioner, heater, it can crop out of nowhere. And it's often expensive. So without this emergency fund, these surprise costs can quickly turn your homeownership dream into, like I said, a nightmare. You don't want that nightmare. So if it's the middle of the winter and your furnace suddenly stops working, $3,000 or more. So without this fund, you might find yourself scrambling to cover this essential repair, putting on a credit card, which you don't want to do. And then you can result in high credit cards debt, interest on that. So just have a little bit of emergency fund. Just make sure you're prepared for these kind of situations, okay? So build up your financial safety net. Just put like a little portion of your income each month, and you can watch that grow. And that's why I have a budget worksheet for owning a home. And that's one thing in there. It's called emergency fund. Put it right in your budget worksheet, okay? Just treat homeownership like a marathon. It's not a sprint. Just be financially prepared. Get this emergency fund going, okay? And it'll really help and handle the unexpected cost without any stress or worry, okay? Third, I want you to be cautious with renovations. I know the excitement of making your new home your own. Oh, it's great. I want to make it my own. It can be overwhelming too. Good piece of advice here is live in your home first for a few years before undertaking major projects, okay? Very important. Patience is important. It can save you both money and headaches. I've seen it happen. Living in your home for a while, a little bit, 2 or 3 years, it makes you truly understand the quirks of your home and needs. And what's important first, initially you might have thought the kitchen needed a complete overhaul, but after a year you realize it's actually the bathroom that needs more attention that we need, that helps us living in the house better. Because the waiting period, what helps you become more informed and makes you make better decisions. And when you rush into it, it can lead to costly mistakes. Maybe if you tore down a wall or something and you discovered structural issues that blow your budget out of water. So beware of things, okay? Don't make hasty decisions when making these repairs. And also make sure you budget for it, because construction is always more than you think. Budget another 10%, okay? Because there will be some things, definitely going to add some thousands of dollars to your initial estimate, okay? Always add at least 10, 15%, onto whatever they say it's going to cost, because it always costs more. And when you're doing this, guys, get multiple quotes from different contractors. We have a ton of contractors you can bring in. Make sure you're getting a good price when they show up. Don't give them any money or a full amount until they actually get some work done, and prioritize your projects, okay? If you plan your renovation well, you can ensure you're making wise financial decisions, because it comes down to that. We're all talking about money here, right? And take your time, plan carefully, and budget wisely, okay? Because your home is a long-term investment, long-term. And if you want to do renovations, that's great. So you can make your home a place that you love and safeguard your financial health at the same time. And lastly, I want to talk about is seeing utility bills. I want to see every bill from every contractor, any invoice that these sellers get on regular lawn cuts and utility bills from every place. Because utilities can significantly impact your monthly expenses, and you know that. And it's often overlooked, especially when, like I said earlier, you might have a family of 4 and there's only 2 people living in the house. So make sure you look in your heating and cooling and electric bills, and it could get more for you than it was for the seller, and then you could strain your budget if you don't really understand the real numbers. Because sellers might say, oh, on average it's $100 a month, and meanwhile it's $130 a month. That's more money, okay? Then you're also actually looking at homes, it's also because you want to budget accurately, right? So what if you're considering buying a home and it has an older appliance or less energy efficient systems? Look for that. Like I said, utility bills for the past year, it gives you a comprehensive view of the costs across different seasons as well. Fluctuations, sometimes February here, it's cold and the bills double, and make sure you have the money put aside for that. And if you're doing some renovations, make sure you talk about or inquire about any energy efficient upgrades or potential improvements that could impact future costs. Make sure you look at that as well. Because make sure that you're not just buying a property, you're investing in your financial stability, okay? And knowing your utility bills and all the other bills, any cost involved in running the household is really important. And always put a little bit more on top of that and show that every year it could go up. And I have a worksheet where you can go year by year, making sure that your income level is going to go up along with the cost of living, okay? So, thanks for joining me today. Remember, buying a home is a big decision, and it can be a great investment only if you're fully prepared for all the costs involved. And if you want more home buying tips, I have a great video, Think Twice Before Buying a Home in 2024. It's good for any year, and don't miss these expert insights. And hit the like button, subscribe, help me get to my 600. I would love that. See you at the next one.